Hi, I'm Reggie Beeman. Welcome to the center at WOIC. Today I am blessed to have a good friend of mine, William Freeman. As you know, WOIC, the center, we highlight people and programs of interest to our mission of helping people help themselves. William, thanks again for agreeing to come on today. We appreciate that. We go back, way back, from grammar school to, I guess, high school and beyond.
Oh yeah, we go for, as you say, grammar school.
Yeah. I was thinking earlier about the similar backgrounds in some ways that we had growing up not too far from each other, being paper boys, paper news carriers today, whatever's politically correct. But I also thought about our mothers and how hard our mothers worked for us. I was a paper boy at your house, and I remember when your mother would give me 42 cents. And I was hoping it was 50 cents, but she was tight. She was great though. But you were blessed to have a good mother who really thought very highly of her son. William could do no wrong, and because you could do no wrong, you had opportunities to do many different things. And on that note, I think one attribute that you have that many people don't really know about William is that you're an avid reader. What got you interested in reading?
Well, I don't think it's a big secret. Most people who know me have seen me with books.
That don't mean you read them though.
You see me walking with books and whatnot. I suppose my earliest memory of, and this is, I find it to be quite interesting because we talk about black people and books and the importance of books for black people, and yet when you walk into a lot of homes, you don't really see books.
Old Jet magazines.
Old Jet magazines, yeah. But when I was a kid, my grandmother read the Bible. All right, and I think this was the first book that made an impression on me, and I think probably because I was a little bit of a nuisance to her. And when she was reading her Bible, something that she would do in the evenings, she lived upstairs, we lived down, it was a three-family house. And I would be up there, and for the most part I would be annoying her, I think. And after a while, she got tired of me. Well, what's this word, Grandma? What's that word? Let me see what you're doing. And she had said to my mother, you need to get this boy a Bible. She didn't say you had to get this boy reading. You had to get him other books. She said you had to get him a Bible. Okay? That was probably my first introduction to having a book of my own. And by no means did I turn out to be a preacher, though she did expect that.
Oh, who expected? Your grandmother or your mom?
Well, my grandmother. My grandmother. She had sons who were ministers. She expected the generation to, the tradition to continue. But one of my other places I went to was the Sunday school, Mount Olive Amy Zion, and during Christmas they would give out presents to the kids, never anything big, just what they could afford. And so they asked me, well, what do you want? I want a book. So I started reading early, and then there were also the comic books.
Oh yeah, I mean you got me hooked. You and Roy Hurdle got me hooked on Mad Magazine, Esquire, and Playboy. You guys used to read that.
Well, you talk about Playboy.
There were great articles in there.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Martin Luther King published his last written article was published in Playboy before his death. And this leads to jazz too.
That was
Alex Haley.
Next, yeah.
Alex Haley used to do interviews for Playboy magazine. His first interview was with Miles Davis. Okay, he also, I believe, did the interview with Jesse Jackson. Blacks who could not find other venues for their ideas to be published found Playboy.
That's correct.
So to pick up a Playboy, it wasn't always for the pictures.
That's true.
There were a lot of articles in there, and if you were a young black person, then this was really one of the venues, one of the sources that you had to go to.
And because of that interest, and because of reading, you became a reader. You basically make your living at one point off of reading books, or at least a part of it.
Yeah, well, I've done interviews. I've done a few interviews for book reviews. Yeah, sure.
Well, and that brings us to OIC. You were part of a program called Maturity Works at the time, it was called.
I think Bruno was here doing the...
Yeah, he did an interview already, so now it's your turn, okay?
Right. So that's the program that I was
you came here, and you were here for, what, 2 years?
I believe it was 2 years, yeah.
And basically, your job here was what?
Well, when you had interviewed me, and as part of the program that I was in,
right.
you had the final call on who you would have here. It wasn't just a program that everyone just said, okay, we're going to put this.
That's correct.
You would ask me, well, if you could do one thing, what would it do? And I said, well, gee, I just want to sit down and read. And
I went along with it.
You did.
Yes.
You did. And it kind of worked out well. It worked out because I did a little bit of editing for you.
Oh yeah.
And I got
ringing the bell without you ringing the bell wouldn't be what it is today.
Yeah, I was more or less thinking of the OIC stuff.
Well, the OIC things as well.
Right, but yeah, the ringing the bell, and I kind of like the ringing the bell, and I liked ringing the bell. You would more or less hand me drafts after a while.
That's correct.
And it gave me an opportunity to introduce books that I felt that weren't being discussed, or that were integral to whatever the theme of the month may have been.
Right. And we appreciate that. Many people have stopped me on the street and they say they enjoy it, but that one thing they have a problem with is some of the words. Don't blame me. Those are William Freeman's words. I blame you. But
so it makes you look like you're very well read.
Yeah, very well read. Yeah, thanks a lot, by the way.
Right.
We had also talked about writing some stories, and some stories. These narratives would reflect on exceptional people, especially exceptional Black Americans.
Right here in Waterbury.
Right here in Waterbury.
Right, yeah,
we had talked about that a tad, and a part of that discussion was on publishing. Do you think that in a nonprofit like OIC that trains people for life, that there is some commercial applications that could be established through writing, through video, and through many of the resources that we use today?
Video, probably, yes. And I say that well, this, by the way, you and I talking, this is unscripted.
That's right. There's nothing wrong. Yeah, that's strange for us to be unscripted, but that's okay.
Yeah, but a lot of what you do see, or your movies, your television, this is scripted.
Yes.
When we talk about a movie or a TV program, we're talking about the actors, the action. Did you see this film last night? Did you see Denzel Washington?
You're good at that, by the way. Yeah. Check Facebook out with William. Every day he tells you what movie he's going to be watching.
And I like doing this. I like to go to the blockbusters. I caught the last Avengers movie. Okay. I sit in the movie, in the theater after the movie is over, the last 10 minutes, and they're showing credits. All of these credits are of people who worked on this film. 10 minutes of names.
That's correct.
Hundreds, thousands of people.
That's right.
Go together to put together this film. These are jobs.
That's correct.
And after the film is over, the script writer, the gaffer, or whatever, the various producers,
Best boy.
yeah.
Yeah.
They go on to other jobs,
That's correct.
other movies.
So the skill set should
this
be
is a skill set.
That's correct.
This is yeah. I mean, there have been quite a few movies that have been in New Haven,
Mm-hmm.
and in doing that, lots of times they rely on local talent.
That's correct.
So if you have a pool of local talent, you can somehow tap into the film industry at large.
Well, the state of Connecticut had an incentive for film industry to conduct their business here in Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, we were trying very hard to get ex-offending women a grant to go into the movie industry. And, well, I shouldn't say movie, but in the film and movie industry. And unfortunately, we didn't get it, but it's still on the back burner, and maybe we'll bring that back up.
Well, movies aren't going to go away.
They're not going anywhere. And
Sure.
I think with all this other technology, whether it's the YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, and all these other ways of getting a message out, that the unfiltering is something that is prevalent, but our people still have not gained money or a career from that, and that's something that we want to work on.
Oh, there are a lot of viable careers.
Sure.
Exactly.
Well, William, I want to thank you for stopping by to the center at WOIC. We're very, very fortunate to have William Freeman. He still edits Ringing the Bell, but more than anything else, he's just a good spirit, in the spirit of WOIC. For the center at WOIC, I'm Reggie Beeman. Have a great day.